Giles Harris, year in and out, has proven to be one of the best poles in the PLL. In 2022, he took home Defensive Player of the Year and has been named an All-Star 3 times in his career. He plays a loose style of defense, giving his matchups freedom to dodge. His elite footwork allows him to defend some of the fastest players in the world. He goes for quality over quantity with his checks on his matchups. In his game against the Cannons, he got matched up against Pat Kavanagh, who plays extremely well in contact situations. To counteract this, JT forced him to dodge in space by playing laid back, putting him in an uncomfortable position. The result was Kavanagh only scoring 1 point all game. Today I'm going to show what makes Giles Harris so good. Here's our first clip.
A little bit of room on Giles Harris. Giles Harris closes it down. Now he's shooting.
JT gets isolated behind in this two-man game. He's playing a soft coverage against Kavanagh, giving him time to react. He sees this pick to his left and decides to drop step and get under it. This is a tough position to navigate a pick because it's close to GLE. The D-mid does a great job of shading and jamming Kavanagh, sending his dodging trajectory outwards, giving JT time to catch up. Watch how JT comes in with a clean breakdown even though he's in a heavy trail position. Most players will try to catch up and come in uncontrolled. He sits in this low stance and plays body, knowing this positioning is extremely important here. As Kavanagh steps back, he becomes a feeder. To counteract this, JT gets in Kavanagh's hands to disrupt his passing ability. Kavanagh tries to get a desperation shot off as the shot clock winds down, but JT does a good job of getting in his hands and forcing the low angle. Here's our next clip.
Dealing with astronauting, what's their slide mentality, the big 32?
Oh, Kavanagh almost got a little bit of a step, but
JT again is matched up at X against Kavanagh. He plays the same style of soft coverage. Kavanagh makes a great move and it puts JT in an awkward position. JT tries to jam Kavanagh outwards to force a better angle, but it's too far on his back hip. All this does is put him into even more of a trail position. Once JT realizes that he got beat, he shifts his focus to the trail check. He now wants to get an angle on the backside of Kavanagh. To do this, he slows down and lets Kavanagh get another step on him, which exposes his stick. JT then throws a great wrap check to take the ball away. Great players like JT capitalize on their mistakes. There are 2.1 million lacrosse players in the world, and only 3% of them will get recruited to play D1 lacrosse. Every player is working just as hard as you, making it impossible to get ahead. To become a D1 player, you need to work smarter than everyone else. Video analysis is the newest technology to work smarter and become the best player in the field. Visit the link in the description to get your film analyzed by the nation's best players. After a single session with a coach, I promise you'll be one of the smartest players in the field. Let's get back to the video.
Are coming from the East Coast. You got to get out here, you got to get hydrated, you got to get a workout in, you got to get your sleep.
Yep, sleep schedule's a little off with that 3-hour difference. Kavanagh being forced on the
JT gets isolated on the wing by Kavanagh with a pick to his left. As Kavanagh shuffles upfield, JT matches his feet in a square position. He wants his inside foot to be splitting Kavanagh's body. When Kavanagh initiates his dodge, JT stays patient and comes into a trail position. The pick had no effect on him, but the short stick still switched. This is a great opportunity to double because JT didn't lose any of his positioning. The key here is the constant pressure from JT. This makes it difficult for Kavanagh to pass back. He also keeps his stick up high to block Kavanagh's vision of the passing lane. Kavanagh is able to get off a desperation pass before it goes out of bounds. Here's our last clip.
Kavanagh looking at that shot clock. He's going to have one shot, rolls back to Vangle.
JT finds himself hung above the cage with Kavanagh X. He stays patient and waits for Kavanagh to pick a side. When he does, JT moves out but doesn't try and approach him behind GLE. He wants to stay balanced and wait for the contact to come to him. JT stays low and drives outwards, denying the top side. He overcommits on the top side a little bit, giving Kavanagh the rollback opportunity, but I would take this over losing top side because the slide knows where to go. Giles Harris continues to be one of the best cover defenders in the PLL. He proves that you don't have to be one of the biggest defenders if you play smart. If you want to become a smarter player like Giles Harris, check the link in our description to get coached by the best players in the nation.